Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Kraus.
And my name is Lily Kotilinek.
For those of you who may know my sister, you may know she has several loves in her life. Her first love is her cow, Ditto. Ditto is our old show cow on the farm. Morgan's favorite pastime with Ditto, besides showing at the county and state fair, is by far taking Snapchat and Facebook selfies together.
Morgan's second love is her cat, Leo. Leo's known to be climbing around Morgan's room like a jungle cat, and she's always pulling him out of bags for him to crawl back in. I can't even count how many Snapchat selfies I've received of her and Leo. A lot of them are of him showing her love, but also of some rejecting.
Besides the selfies with animals, Morgan's third love has been FFA. Having my little sister on my FFA high school officer team was one of the most rewarding experiences I had in FFA. The sibling rivalry between us was very fierce, but it seemed like whatever camp or any activity I was doing, Morgan was always trying to, go above and what I have been doing. I'm very proud to be standing here today and look upon all Morgan's accomplishments in FFA.
My best friend Morgan makes sure she takes time out of her day for the people she loves and cares about. She was born a leader. She's the girl you find standing in the middle of the room, shining as bright as a pink sparkle she is probably wearing.
We're proud to introduce my sister
and my best friend, your state
FFA Vice President, Morgan Kraus.
Whenever I hear this song, I immediately think of one person, my dad. My dad is by far the most passionate person I have ever met in my entire life. Whether it's standing up for what he believes in or working day in and day out to take care of our farm, he lives out his passion. We all have something in our lives that we're passionate about. Think about it. What is that thing that gets us out of bed in the morning or keeps us up late at night? That flame inside of us that is guiding us towards our purpose. I know that so many of you have found that thing. As a state officer this year, I've had the opportunity to meet so many incredibly amazing FFA members who are living out their passions. I've watched Larissa live out her passion for pigs through her SAE. I've watched Susie live out her passion for helping others through her volunteer hours. I've watched Noah live out his passion for wildlife through hunting. So what is that passion of yours? 5 years ago, I was asking my 13-year-old self the very same question. It was just a regular day during my 8th grade year. I had just finished gym class and I was on my way to English with my neon yellow Got to Be Me book in hand. Now, this Got to Be Me book was part of our class assignment. It was filled with questions, and each day when we came to class, we would respond to one. On this particular day, I walked into class, sat down at my desk, opened my book, and read, "What are you passionate about?" Easy, I got this one. COWS, cows. As I cheerfully wrote down my answer, I leaned to my friend Sarah and said, "Hey, Sarah, what are you passionate about?" Sarah then proceeded to tell me about her incredible trip to Haiti, where she had worked in the orphanage for 2 weeks and developed her passion for helping develop third world countries. Okay, so here she is, passionate about saving the world. And I'm passionate about passionate about just cows. Slightly embarrassed about my answer, I put my pen down, closed my book, and pondered what my grand passion could be for the rest of the day. That afternoon, I returned back to my farm and found myself sitting on the gator talking with my grandpa, like we always do. And as I listened to my grandpa talk about how he spent the last 60 years of his life dairy farming, and how his dad and his grandpa had all spent their lives working to produce wholesome and nutritious dairy products, I saw it. I saw the passion in his eyes, and even though he didn't outright say it, I heard the passion. I saw that flame that has been not only my grandpa's guiding light, but also the guiding light of my dad, and my great-grandpa, and my great-great-grandpa, and my great-great-great-grandpa. It was at that moment that I realized my passion doesn't have to be ending world hunger or some big grand idea. My passion doesn't have to save the world. It just has to save me. An individual passion can truly be something as simple as what makes us most happy in life. So the next day I walked back into English class and returned to the question from the day before. And that day I finished answering that question because I wasn't embarrassed anymore. I'm Morgan Krause, and I am passionate about dairy cows. If any of you have ever followed me on social media, you have seen the endless stream of selfies that I have taken with my best friend. But in case you haven't seen them, let me tell you a little bit about her. My best friend has black hair. She's a little bigger than me. She's the best listener you'll ever meet in your life. She has 4 legs and a tail, and did I tell you that she's a cow? Nothing makes me more excited to jump out of bed in the morning than the thought of getting to see my favorite cow, Ditto. My friendship with Ditto started 7 years ago when she was just a little calf. And after countless hours spent in the barn with her and watching her grow into a gigantic cow, she has become my pride and joy. It's because of Ditto and all of the rest of my cows that I absolutely love sharing my family farm story. I have the opportunity to share my story even in the most unexpected places. 3 months ago, I had the opportunity to attend the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, or STEM Expo, held for 1,200 8th graders in the Minneapolis Public School District. As I walked into the huge Minneapolis Convention Center, I saw rows and rows of new educational material used to teach students about STEM. But what caught my eye the most was the statue of the Holstein dairy cow located right next to my booth. I was so excited because this was an opportunity for me to live out my passion by educating others about the animals that I love. As the buses appeared, students flooded into the convention center, running from booth to booth. Hundreds of students who had never been in contact with a farmer before came through and asked me questions about the life of a cow. But it was one student's question that stood out to me the most. An 8th grade girl named Ebony tapped my shoulder and said, "My class wanted to learn more about agriculture, so we've been watching PETA videos, and I just wanted to know, is it true?" Ebony then continued to tell me about how her class had wanted to learn more about agriculture, so her teacher had been showing them videos from animal abuse websites because they didn't know where to get their information from. At first, I was a bit taken back by what she had said, but then I felt it. I felt that flame inside of me getting bigger and bigger. This was an opportunity for me to live out my passion. I explained to Ebony how dairy farmers take the absolute best care of our dairy cows and how animal care is our #1 priority. Well, it bothered me that Ebony thought differently about animal production than what I knew to be true. It wasn't her fault or even her teacher's fault for being misled about agriculture. It was mine. It was my fault as a producer for not engaging and educating her sooner. that day when I returned back to my car, that flame inside of me was still burning. So I decided to text the most passionate person I know, my dad. I sent him this big long text about how we need to get into more schools and we need to educate others and we need to engage and we need to bring people on our farm to share our story and on and on and on. He responded to my text and then added 5 simple words. P.S. I love your passion. That day, my dad saw the passion in me just like I had seen it in him and my grandpa. I thought that I was just doing something I love, but in reality, that flame inside of me was my way of living out my passion. Each and every one of us has the opportunity to live out our passion in different ways. For me, living out my passion is speaking with students, children, adults, and legislators about dairy farm families. Living out my passion is serving as a dairy princess, posting those selfies of Ditto and I, and loving every minute spent with my cows. All of us have a flame inside of us, whether that's for agriculture, FFA, sports band choir, or anything else. How are we going to let that be our guiding light? How are we going to spend every day living out our passions? Life is short. If there was ever a moment to live out your passion and do something that matters to you, that moment is now. Take chances and never hide what you love to do. Minnesota FFA, thank you for taking me on this journey and showing me that when we do what we love with purpose, we live out our passions.
2 years ago, I got this random Twitter follower by the name of Morgan Krause. At the time, I never would have guessed that that random Twitter follower would go on to be such a great teammate and even better friend. Thank you for your constant encouragement and goofiness. Your love for and passion for family and dairy cattle is something that truly inspires me to live out mine each and every day. And I also know that we would not have been able to get through this year if it wasn't for your ability to get us back on track when we all got distracted. Together forever, Sam, Mariah, Madison, Travis, and PJ. Minnesota FFA, I present to you your Minnesota FFA State Vice President, Morgan Krause.